who has went no contact with their family, can they tell me how they did it and how it...
So please don't mind the truck in the background. I'm outside. I'm stitching this video because I am somebody who went no contact with my family. I have done it twice. The first time I went no contact with my family was in the year 2010. I cut them all off. I cut them off because they sabotaged my baking business, my own mother and my sisters. So I cut them off because I realized if I was ever going to be successful and if I was ever going to be happy in life, if I was ever going to have anything, even though I was building this business for the family, if I was ever going to have anything, I would have to leave them behind. When I cut them off, that time, it was a bit easier because I was pissed off. I was so pissed. Like, to imagine your own mother destroying the financial record for your business because you would not come to her house to have dinner with her and the man she was screwing behind her friend's back, who was her friend's live-in boyfriend at the time. I didn't want to go and break bread with that man in my mother's house. And she destroyed my business for that man. That man then died 2 weeks after she did what she did to my business. So take from that what you will. I cut the whole family off because everybody sided with that bitch. In 2019, I had, after years and years of healing and growth, I foolishly thought, you know what, I'm stronger now. Let me go back to the family and try to see if we can do some healing work together. One of my sisters was so insanely jealous of me, she just could not come into sisterhood and fellowship with me. She even told me out of her own mouth, when you buy for my daughter, it makes me feel a way because I can't afford to buy for her like that. I was like, but I don't have any children. So I have resources that you don't, because I'm not responsible for the life of another human being. It's not a slight to you for me to get things for you and for her, right? This same sister, though, after I left in 2019, then went around to people, oh, she's gallivanting the world. Actually, even before I left in 2019, before I had even come back into fellowship with the family, this same sister was telling anybody who would listen, oh, she's gallivanting the world, traveling the world, and she's not helping her family. But when I came back to help the family, I was throwing my money in their face. After that, I cut the sisters off again. I only kept in contact with one sister. And when that bitch started acting funny, I cut her ass off too. She just recently married a man who sodomized one of our sisters in her bed. Okay? So that should go to tell you the kind of trash ass women that are in my family. It hurt me deeply to cut off my youngest sister last year. At the end of last year, I cut that bitch off too, because I was like, you know what? You have no consideration for my humanity. And I just couldn't take any more of it. I couldn't take any more of the neglect. I couldn't take any more of the complete dismissal. I just couldn't take any more of it. It hurt. It was hard. I wanted to run back, because she was my youngest sister, and she was the one I always held hope for. She was the one that I always believed, one day she would grow and she would heal and we'd be able to come into fellowship together. But no, she's just as broken and toxic as the rest of the family, unfortunately. What has made it easier was delving deeper into my self-love journey. The more that I loved myself, the more I realized I'm not the problem. And I'm not saying this from an egotistical standpoint. I am not the problem if someone made a choice to couple with a man who abandoned her with a child and that slowed down her upward mobility. That is not my problem. So your jealousy over my choices that I made in life and the life that it manifested for me is not my problem. And I am not the cause of that. I'm not going to not live well. I'm not going to not be successful. I'm not going to stop striving for more just because one of my sisters decided to be a cum rag. And I say that disrespectfully. Women make the choices that they want to make in this life, and they have every right to make those choices. If you choose to go out here having unprotected intercourse, that's your right. But when that lands you with a baby, it is nobody else's problem. That's your baby. That's your choice. You chose to give birth. You chose to bring the child here. You had a right to that choice, but you don't have a right to then sit in jealousy because someone else chose not to have a child, because someone else chose to go to college, because someone else chose to start a business and be successful. And that is what I was being subjected to in my family. So as I listen to this video with this beautiful sister, I just see myself, my younger self, and I just want to say to you, I knew at age 11 that if I was ever going to be successful in this life, I was going to have to leave my family behind. Because my family is toxic and broken. My family is cursed and traumatized, and they don't want to heal. They just want to use it as an excuse, as a crutch for why they're horrible people. And they're all horrible. It's the entire family. Some of us are the curse breakers in the family. And that will make you a target for family abuse, neglect, abandonment, and more. But if you just stay the course, you will meet your soul family. You will meet people like you who have been through this kind of thing, and you guys will be able to form a sisterhood or a brotherhood together. I know that this might not be as helpful, but I just want to bear witness that it's possible. I only wish that when I cut them assholes off in 2010, that I had kept them all cut off, that I didn't waste the last 5 years of my life trying to build fellowship with a sister who was jealous of me, who wanted to vampirize my creations, who wanted to use me. She didn't want to love me. She didn't want to respect me. She didn't want to honor me. She only saw me as a resource. That is not love. You're not just a resource for the broken members of your family, sis. You deserve more than that. Choosing yourself is hard when you have been taught to self-sacrifice. When self-sacrifice is all you've ever known and you've been taught to see that as love, self-love and choosing yourself feels like a betrayal. It feels harsh. It feels mean, you know? And you deserve better than that.